Hey, this is Kevin Garlington with Total Tennis Domination. This is probably a different looking video than you're used to, but it's super important. This video is about how to make sure you can play tennis forever. And you might say, like, how can I possibly do that? And we can do that by making sure we take care of our body. And this is video part 2. Part 1 is about how do we warm up to make sure that when we're gonna step on the court, we're gonna be ready to perform. So make sure you go to watch that, and I'll leave a link either here or here somewhere. This video is about the resources and things I've used over the years with my experience to stay fit, healthy, and make sure that I hopefully have a very long period of time where I can play tennis, because it's a sport we all love. And the reason why I think they're so important is because what's the one thing that stops so many players from playing tennis? It's injuries, it's chronic pain, whether it be elbow, whether it be your knee, whether it be your back. And a lot of times we just don't take care of it. We run out thinking the best about scheduling a match or playing in a league, and we just get off of work and we go play, and we don't take care of our body to get warmed up to play. And then when we get off the court, we just probably run off, go home and start the next day, but we're not taking care of our body. And so what's happening over time, at least what I've realized, is that after a while, if you don't take care of your body, like a car, if you don't take care of it and do some maintenance, it's gonna break down. And it doesn't have to be that way. And so many players, I think, have a lot of their injuries because they're not doing basic maintenance. So I want to share with you some of the things that I think are huge about doing that basic maintenance and making sure that you take care of your body so you can play tennis longer. So the number one thing that I think is really important about taking care of your body is tennis knowledge. And tennis knowledge, well, I shouldn't say tennis knowledge, but fitness knowledge. I highly recommend this book, Becoming a Supple Leopard by Dr. Kelly Starrett, I think it is. It says, the ultimate guide to resolving pain, preventing injury, and optimizing athletic performance. So even if you have pain or maybe you're pain free, this is like my go-to guide for anything related, when it comes to tennis elbow, when it comes to injuries, anything. And he goes through and talks about mobility and the right way you're supposed to take care of your body. And I love the book is very visual, so if you love pictures, but I love how he's broken up the book where you can find certain areas that you want to work on. And so whether it be something with your back, whether it be something with your knees or elbow, you can pretty much find out where you can get information to work on it. So like here in the areas, shoulder, trunk, knees. And so quick story about this book and why I highly recommend it. At one time I was teaching, teaching a lot basically, and I had some issues with my knee, and it lasted quite a while. I actually went through about 6 months where I could barely bend my knee, and I was just hobbling around teaching tennis lessons on the court in a lot of pain. And I got to a point, honestly, where I was like, I'm gonna probably have to go get it looked at from a doctor, get it scoped. And I literally didn't want to do it because I knew what they were gonna tell me. It was like, you need to get some sort of surgery or something on your knee. And obviously, before I tell you the rest of the story, consult your physician before you either ignore or go do something to make sure it's right for you. That's my disclaimer for this. But I stumbled upon this book, and I don't know if it was like a Tim Ferriss thing, and I started doing some research and started reading this, and basically what was happening, my knee was locking up. And from the wear and tear of teaching every day, and when I was teaching, I was hitting, I was playing, I was feeding, just summers in Oklahoma heat, it's 110 out here sometimes, and I never took care of my body. And so my knee was locking up, and it was getting to be very painful. I wake up in the morning and hobble to the bathroom just because I couldn't bend my knee. And so after a while, I started kind of doing some research, and I ran into this book, and he talked about how everything's connected. And so a lot of times my focus was on my knee where I was experiencing pain, and he was saying that my calf and my quads were probably tight and they were pulling on my knee. And so he suggested stretching out, rubbing out my calves and quads, and literally I did that and I felt instant relief of the pain. And then I went into doing more of what he recommends in this book. He talks about like using a tennis ball and different things, I'll talk about that in a second, to massage, and it completely really turned my whole situation with my knee around, where I could not only jog, I could walk, sprint, everything like normal, pain-free, where I went through about a period of 6 months. So I always recommend this book to everybody. who plays tennis or any sort of sports and they're experiencing pain is to start here first. Obviously, consult your doctor, but start here first. And again, I'll have links in the description. Honestly, I don't even care about like using my link because I'm not even put a affiliate or whatever. Just get the book, because honestly, if you suffer from any kind of pain, or if you just want to optimize your body's performance, start with this book. Again, I could talk about it for a long time because I've experienced other pains and I always go back to that, and there's always a solution that's worked for me before I had to go to get some medical care. So the next thing I recommend is the tools that potentially you want to start using to make sure you can make your body last. And something that you can either carry in your tennis bag, and they have different forms of them, is a foam roller. And so this thing, my wife has had to use it and I've used it, and just like with the IT band, meaning that this part on your leg gets so tight and it causes a lot of pressure and tension. That's another thing where I use this a ton, and anytime I feel pain somewhere, I start rolling it out. And another option with that is just using a tennis ball. I used to have plantar fasciitis. I'm saying that totally wrong, but plantar fasciitis. And if you've had it, you know what that feels like when you wake up in the morning and it takes you, on top of my knee, and it takes you probably 15 minutes to walk to the bathroom because your feet are so tender. And I went through a good stint of that, where I tried a whole bunch of things, taping, and then really started rolling out. It worked for me, and a whole bunch of other things. I actually switched to wearing 5-finger shoes, and I very minimal shoes, and they've helped a ton, along with using this to massage out things. And not only this, you can use a tennis ball or any other type of ball and massage out certain areas. Especially, you know, I've had tennis elbow for a little bit, and I focused on massaging away from my elbow, and that really helped. And you know, there's a bunch of different things, but I want to give you some options if you're experiencing some of these pains, because they're not fun and they prevent you from enjoying the game of tennis, and I don't want that. The next thing that I've recently started doing is using this. Now, this is one I purchased a while ago, and it's a massage gun. And I really find this to be super convenient and able to hit a lot of places that I'm not able to hit. And it's really made a difference in something that's really convenient that I can do at home while I'm sitting at my desk, while I have a moment that I can just start preventing and massaging my legs. Because I think, you know, if you're not going into getting a massage, especially in the current day right now where you know, everybody's trying to social distance. I used to get massages decently regularly because it was so important to loosen up the body. And again, these are all things to help taking care of your body. Now, I will be reviewing this new unit that I got that I'm super pumped about, that I've been using, and telling you what I think about it. And kind of already you can see how this is a lot smaller, and you're able to probably travel with this and keep it in your bag, and it's something that's a little smaller than the one I had before. And that's gonna be what I'm gonna talk about in the third video, kind of really digging into this unit that's from Bob and Brad that I've really enjoyed, and tell you kind of the pluses and the negatives and things, because I've used the other massager before. Ooh, one more thing I almost forgot. And this is another big one that if you're into it, I think is a huge benefit to your tennis game, which is yoga. I spent quite a while, especially after my leg injury, and realizing the power of stretching and the power of taking care of my body, that I really got into yoga, and I really enjoyed it. And what it did is started elongating and stretching my entire body. And so I went through a period where, as I was doing yoga to that degree, I stopped having as many injuries. When I was on the court and maybe I took a wrong step and my ankle would roll a little bit, it wouldn't be a bad injury. A lot of times was, I think, at least I feel like, more flexible. So a lot of those things that might have turned into a big injury, my body kind of just rolled with it, and I might be a little discomfort, but nothing major. And so another nice thing about yoga that I really, really, really love is the mental part of it. Because I think it does correlate with tennis, about when you're on the court, there's so many things internally that's going on. And if you see other people watching tennis, they're like, oh, that sport's easy. And then you start playing it, you realize how mental tennis is. And since it's so mental, yoga has this mental component about dealing with what's going in your head. And without going into a lot of it, I really think if you are open to yoga, it's a huge benefit for your life in general and your tennis game. And so I just want to leave you with these notes and these resources that I've used over the years, and I kind of bounce around. I don't use them all at the same time, but depending on either if I can't make yoga or I can't do yoga at home, I might use the massage gun. If I have some sort of injury or something, I definitely hit the book and then use these other tools to make sure my body stays healthy, because that's what we want. That's what we all want. So hopefully this serves you. My third video, if you're really interested in learning more about the massage gun, because I think that has been a game changer in the convenience about how I can take care of my body at like a whim, where I can just pull it out and bang, start massaging certain parts of my body that might feel sore, or just to do maintenance to make sure that I don't get to that point where it might hurt. That will be the third video. So again, hopefully this serves you. Take care, and I'll see you on the court again.